$1 million in taxpayer-funded overtime has been authorized not to find the truth, but to erase it. We are currently witnessing the ultimate audit of a government that prefers little green men over accountable powerful men. This is the most sophisticated information shell game in history, a strategic pivot from the toxic, unreleased Epstein ledger to the speculative, blue sky potential of outer space. While you look at the stars, the receipts of the powerful are being blacked out behind closed doors. I'm Camilo Motado, and this is Camilo's House. As a certified public accountant focused on forensic data verification, I look past the headlines to see where the audit budget is actually being allocated. In any high-level investigation, the materiality of a disclosure is measured by what it costs to keep it hidden. We are performing a universal disclosure audit on the administration's sudden interest in extraterrestrials, documenting why a government in transparency default is suddenly eager to spill the beans on UFOs while spending a fortune to redact the past. In the world of government financial reporting, the most expensive line items are often the ones used to keep the public in the dark. We are auditing a glaring discrepancy in transparency. While the administration brands itself as the most transparent in history, FBI agents have been paid nearly $1 million in overtime to work on what is officially called the Epstein Transparency Project. However, forensic analysts have relabeled this as the Special Redaction Project. From an accounting perspective, this is a sunk cost with a negative return on investment for the public. The goal isn't to release the 2 million remaining documents, it is to perform a strategic devaluation of the evidence. The operational cost of this secrecy has reached a staggering milestone. By paying agents to meticulously black out names, dates, and related party transactions, the administration is ensuring that the toxic liabilities found in the Epstein ledger never reach a state of public liquidation. In any professional audit, the refusal to provide access to these primary source documents would result in a disclaimer of opinion. We are looking at a management override of controls, where the executive branch has decided that the cost of accountability is simply too high for the board of directors, the powerful entities involved, to pay. This is a material weakness in the administration's reporting standards. You cannot claim to be a champion of truth while simultaneously funding a massive information scrubbing operation. The 2 million documents currently sitting in a government building represent a blocked asset that belongs to the American people. Because this Epstein default is becoming harder to defend, the administration has introduced a diversionary asset. By shifting the audit budget from human trafficking to extraterrestrials, the White House is attempting to perform a capital gain swap on public interest. They are trading a high liability story for a high curiosity story. The move to declassify UFO files isn't about science, it is about market sentiment management. It is an attempt to create a golden age of discovery to mask a dark age of redaction. In the digital age, a domain registration is the first sign of a new business line. The U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency recently registered alien.gov and aliens.gov. While UFO enthusiasts see this as proof of a material event regarding extraterrestrials, the forensic audit reveals a massive semantic risk. We are auditing a domain liability where the truth about aliens is being entangled with immigration enforcement. Because the administration frequently refers to migrants as aliens, the registration of these domains has created an information ambiguity that could be used to mask a dehumanizing registry. As a CPA, I analyze asset categorization. In an audit, if you label two completely different accounts like extraterrestrials and migrants with the same name, you are creating a reporting failure. Is aliens.gov intended for little green men or a migrant tracking database? The internal controls of this disclosure are virtually non-existent, leaving the public shareholders in a state of confusion. The registration of these domains by CISA is a quantifiable action. Usually CISA manages the critical infrastructure of the nation, power grids, and election security. By adding alien data to their portfolio, the administration is signaling that proof-of-life files are now being treated as primary infrastructure assets. However, we must audit the budgetary discrepancy here. While security workers at our airports go unpaid during a 36-day shutdown, the government is busy registering domains for UFOs. This is a misallocation of operational resources that suggests the disclosure is more about optics than administrative duty. In February, the president reportedly asked the Secretary of War and other departments to identify and release files related to extraterrestrial life. The use of a title that hasn't existed officially since 1947 is a legacy asset revival. It suggests an archaic narrative strategy intended to evoke a sense of universal defense. By framing UFO disclosure through the lens of a War Department, the administration is attempting to create speculative value. They are positioning themselves as the commanders of the unknown to offset the default of leadership found in their human-centered policies. The semantic overlap between extraterrestrials and migrants remains the primary risk factor in this audit. The White House Deputy Press Secretary's use of an alien emoji while telling the public to stay tuned is a high-volatility communication strategy. In accounting terms, they are leveraging an ambiguous asset to see which narrative gains the most social equity. If the public follows the UFO lead, the administration wins a diversion. If the public follows the migrant lead, the administration wins a policy enforcement tool. Either way, the truth is being treated as a variable interest entity, something that changes depending on who is looking at the books. The final stage of our audit looks at the geopolitical valuation of this disclosure. Why are aliens being offered as the ultimate safe haven asset for a government currently facing a transparency insolvency? As a professional focused on risk-adjusted disclosures, I know that it is safer to liquidate a cosmic secret than a political secret. We are looking at why the alien ledger is finally being opened while the Epstein ledger remains in a state of permanent redaction. From an investigative standpoint, the move to alien.gov is a low-risk disclosure strategy. Alien information doesn't implicate current government officials in crimes. It doesn't break related party partnerships with powerful donors. And it provides a shiny new asset for the media to obsess over. The Epstein files, conversely, are toxic liabilities with the power to bankrupt the reputations of the global elite. By focusing the audit budget on UFO directives, the administration is performing a strategic write-off of public accountability. There is a profound desperation component in this audit. The hope for intelligent life circling the universe is a reaction to the governance default currently occurring in Washington, D.C. When international law is shown to be toothless and our leaders are largely spineless, the market starts looking for an external bailout. The extraterrestrial savior narrative is a psychological asset that the White House is happy to exploit. By dangling the idea of saviors from the stars, they are deflecting from the fact that they are currently failing to manage the frontline assets at our own borders and airports. It is a management illusion designed to make the insolvency of leadership feel like a golden age of discovery. The final verdict for the Universal Disclosure Audit reveals a total default on human truth. While alien.gov might eventually host shocking details, the forensic data suggests that the most shocking details are still sitting in the Special Redaction Project room. My verdict is that we are witnessing the ultimate diversionary audit. You cannot find intelligent life in the universe until you have an honest ledger at home. The $1 million spent on overtime redactions is the material fact that proves the alien disclosure is a tactical smokescreen. The administration isn't giving you the truth about the universe. They are giving you a digital distraction to hide the truth about Washington. The truth is not out there. It is currently being blacked out by $1 million pen in a government building. But I want to hear from you. Is the registration of alien.gov a legitimate move toward transparency, or is it a callous bait and switch to hide the Epstein files? Would the discovery of intelligent life actually save us, or would it just be another asset for the government to troll us with? Let me know in the comments. Your perspective is the only audit that matters when the truth is out there, but the receipts are still being hidden by a special redaction project. I'm Camilo Motado for Camilo's House. Subscribe to stay informed on the numbers behind the headlines. Stay safe.